Okay guys, just want to show you some stuff here. I get this kind of stuff all the time where I have to fix it, repair it, or repaint something. I don't know who the original artist is on this or the painter, but you know, if it's one of you guys or somebody and they want to contact me, I can tell you where we had gone wrong on this project here. So I'm going to point out some areas here, and I'm by no means am I disrespectful to the painter anyway. I'm just showing what new painters run into these problems, and I've had these problems myself. As you can see on here, we've got a lot of fisheye, and fisheye is caused by oil or contaminants that might be on the surface of the paint. This could be fingerprints, it could be wax and grease remover that wasn't wiped down and then wiped dry. It could have been your next door neighbor could have been putting Armor All on his tires, and the oil drops could have got on the surface here. This is just a contamination. Also, as you can see in here, there's a lot of small like dust, but it's actually small bubbles, and that's called solvent pop. And this is caused by putting on too much paint and not allowing the paint to dry first for 10 or 15 minutes to let it flash cure or whatever they call it, and then putting a second coat on too heavy, and this outgassing of the first coat is trapped, and it causes these bubbles in the paint. It's probably what happened here. Whenever he put too much paint on, he also got a run right here, a really severe run, and that run could have actually been taken out with a piece of tape while it was wet. You just put a tape on and just kind of pull it off. It's going to leave some cruddy marks, and he might have tried it right here, I'm not sure, but it's going to leave some cruddy marks. But you can go back over and flood that area with paint and kill this to a certain extent. You also have a lot of orange peel. You can see it in the reflection here, lots and lots of orange peel. That orange peel can be wet sanded out and polished to look really, really nice. There is some trash in here. This could be some evidence that he was painting in the garage or maybe outside, or he just maybe in a warehouse and didn't have a really nice, good, clean environment. Another part is when you paint like in a hole like this, you can see the voids of the paint, and where he didn't get enough paint in here covering on this. And this is common as well. It's hard to paint inside of a hole because you're constantly overspray on the other part that you just got finished with. Another area here you can see where he's got it clear coated here, but he either forgot to clear coat this, or either oversprayed and got dry paint on here, causing it to look dull. This is the stuff that everybody has gotten, and people even get it today. I get it. The best of the best come up with these problems on occasion. It's knowing how to fix them and how to avoid them, and this comes with time and practice. Anyway, we had a request on how to mix paint. So I got me a little cup here, and what I'm going to do is take my black paint, and I'm just going to take the black paint and mix it in, put a little black paint in there, and I'm going to use RU311. This is House of Color black paint and RU311, and I'm going to mix it half and half, and that is going to give the consistency of water or milk. You can see it's kind of a drippy consistency. It's very thin consistency on that. So we've done just mix up that paint, put it in your airbrush, and when you put it in your airbrush, you can check and see if it's spider webbing or if it's too thin or thick, and then you can add reducer. I usually keep a little reducer here. These bottles you can get at Michael's, and you can find them in the cake mixing department, and they will hold your things without eating them. And I have black paint, white paint. I have all my different colors. I have a little spice rack full of paints over here that I keep my colors in. And anyway, we will be putting some red candy on this here shortly. You can kind of see some of the stuff that I've been doing to it here. This was from last night. I had done some work on it today. But we're almost ready to put some red candy on this, and that will be the next one. The red candy. Oh, another thing is that people have asked, how do you hook up your air compressor to your airbrush? Well, I just, run some line and run it through the warehouse here, and my line goes to a homemade cooler. This is just some pipe that comes up and down, and I have some drains at the bottom down here where the water, the condensation collects, and then it flows. The air flows into the water filter here, and then the water filter, from that water filter, it goes to different hoses throughout my shop. And I've got my airbrushes hooked up. I have a T on this one right here where I've hooked them up, and I can, unplug it, plug it back in, and hooked up these just with some regular pipe threads. You can see that those hoses are kind of old, and I've had to repair them with some clamps. But that's how you do it. It's simple. Run about 35 psi on my air. I think I probably run a little high, but I like it that way. Other people like to run 10 pounds of air. I have little contraptions and little holders and things that I have around the shop. All my paints and my mixing tables and stuff like that. So the next project will be putting some red candy on this fender, and that should probably be the last video, but I'll check you guys on the next one.